All right, we're back, guys. Dollar Canadian is under the microscope right now. What a wonderful move we had here last time, probably about a week ago. You probably remember price was just coming off a low, that low, the previous low, closing above the 200-day moving average. And I thought at that point we're going to have an upside trend, which is going to be at least to, a move that would go at least to 34.16, and I actually thought that it's going to go much higher than that, right? I had my final destination around 37.65, but I was definitely aware of that 34.16 as a major resistance level, which is why I declared that this is going to be our secondary target. It's going to be a major profit-taking spot, and if price will fail to break through, that's also going to be the end of our way here. So what happened was pretty much exactly what I tried to describe. Price was going very nicely on the upside for the first few days. We hit that mark, on the 34.16. I took out 50% of the position. And then I noticed price was trying to break through. It started on the first day and failed, right? Then the following day, we had another attempt. Price was kind of trying to break through, slightly spiking that key level, but again, failing. And then, of course, the third day, that was quite interesting because price started pretty strongly on the upside, took the previous two highs here, and then began to turn around pretty aggressively. When I noticed that, I thought to myself, well, that's probably the end of it, right? That 34.16 seems to be holding very strong. So I got out. I took the profit I had on the rest of the position and I got out. And at that point, I decided to wait on the sideline and see what price is going to do. Well, when it broke below 33.01, which is just 2 days ago, I began to become very suspicious. At that point, I actually decided to ignore my original long-term bullish conviction and begin to explore a bearish one, right? A bearish scenario, and I'm talking about the medium to long-term perspective here. But I still wanted to have more evidence, right? And I knew that if price could also close back below the 200-day moving average, that would be a fantastic indication that price is probably going to develop a long-term downside trend, which is something I definitely want to get involved with. Now, what happened here yesterday actually exceeded my expectations, because price not only closed below that 200-day moving average, it crashed it and managed to close below the bottom support at 31.99, which is the last line of support, the last line of resort, if you will, when we address that particular formation. And I'm talking about that trading range that ran across the last couple of months, right, ever since the beginning of March. So, I have to say, I don't want to fall easy to that breakdown, because that might be a false breakdown, right? This is just a daily close here. It could be noisy. What we need here is a weekly confirmation, right? We need a weekly close below 31.99. And once we have that, I'll feel a lot more comfortable to begin and build up a decent sized position going forward. I should mention that the stop loss level, the initial placement right now, would have to be relatively far from price action. So I placed it at 33.50, started very, very small with the first trade. And as we go downwards, and like I said, close by the end of the day below 31.99, that's critical, then of course we'll begin to increase this position. That's about that for the dollar Canadian, guys. That's about that for today and for this week. We'll see you next Monday.